Hello, welcome to this match. This is game 4 of my match against Terracubist in the No Terminals Mix playoffs. I've won the first two. I won the first and third. They won the second. It's been first player winning each game, and their first player this game, so that bodes well for them, obviously. We have counterfeit to trash coppers. We have shepherds, so maybe you don't want to trash your estates. We've got training, so maybe you want to get something and slam training on it. We've got supplies, which are always very nice. We've got bargain, so you could like bargain for counterfeit. What does counterfeit play with supplies? Not great, but you should have plenty of coppers. So that means the opening would be like supplies, bargain, counterfeit. They just had the natural 5-2, so they get a free horse out of this, which is fine. Question is, do I want to go treasury, storyteller? Quarry is also going to be quite nice with storyteller because then you can artificer for actions for incredibly cheaply. You get 3 storytellers. So if you get a quarry in play, you can artificer discard 0 to gain a patrician. If you get a couple quarries in play, you can artificer discard 0 to gain, a treasury or a storyteller, which is phenomenally good. You can get just like all the treasuries and all. Probably you just want to get all the artificers first, and then you get all the treasuries. And then you feel pretty good about life. Do you need a storyteller to get that deck going? I don't think so. I probably want to get a storyteller here anyway. Storyteller doesn't play great with supplies. You just draw the horse back up, but you can use that horse. So storyteller will get the draw going to get around to the counterfeit, and then pick up a quarry after that, and then pick up artificers and see where we go from there. Get my quarry now. This will be 6 and 2 buys. So shepherd is probably a bit better with the storyteller stuff. So I'm gonna get a shepherd and another supplies. Fortunately, the shepherd's not going to do me much this turn with all my green cards, as it's in my discard pile. So I feel pretty good here. There may be... Okay, they found their storyteller. Yeah, they bought a storyteller on turn 4. They bought mine on turn 3, and they're seeing theirs this turn. So if I see mine this turn, we're holding pace. If I miss my storyteller, then I'm in a lot of trouble, I think. Best case scenario is I see my storyteller and my quarry this turn, and then get around to my counterfeit, and I can buy a couple of actions for pretty cheap. They've also picked up an artificer, which is my other thing that I want to get here. Plus buy is pretty easy to come by with counterfeit and ducat, but you just need to watch out in the artificer deck with the quarries that you add enough plus buy, so when it comes time to gain green cards, you can buy a couple at a time. A little bit disconcerting that they're drawing deck on turn 6. And I don't feel like I'm anywhere close to drawing my deck, but perhaps if I find my storyteller and then find my shepherd, I'll be able to do it. Okay, so this went badly. I guess I do have a storyteller on top of the deck, and I'll pick up the artificer now, I guess. So I'll start obviously by discarding the 2 estates for 4 cards, so I can get enough food for a storyteller to draw through. If I draw 4 with storyteller, that almost gets me through the end of the shuffle. And I've got the quarry here, which is nice. So I can do, unless the Artificer's at the very bottom of the deck, I'll be able to do some Artificer fun. And I guess with these decks, Shepherd in theory can get you overdraw. You know, if you discard 4 states, you draw 8 cards, and the Artificer you can gain things. So, you know, really just want to be able to line all those things up, especially with the quarries going on. I'm interested to see if they've got the quarry thing in mind, or if they're just delaying it slightly. It's reasonable that it could be reasonable that you don't get a quarry until your deck is a little bit more under control. I just happen to have 4 that turn. Yeah, most likely they'll discard a couple of the states and gain a supplies here to the top of the deck, which is nice for 2. I don't think they have any draw left. And they have another Shepherd. Okay. So they're going for the Shepherd Shepherd overdraw with Artificer stuff. We'll see if they also pick up a quarry here. Yeah. Okay, draw 4. So given that I want to draw a deck, I think I'm going to play the supplies here. I can also play a counterfeit and kill a copper. Is that too much draw? Counterfeit is 4. Copper's 5, 6. That's too much draw. Well, I can just discard the horse, though. Okay, copper. Okay, so Artificer. So use. Discard 3 to gain a Storyteller at the top of the deck. And then with 5 money, I can gain another Artificer and another supplies. I also want to get another quarry. I might be able to gain and play that this turn. We'll see how my draws go. It's good, I guess, to start with the estates on top if I can find the Shepherd. If I can't find the Shepherd, then I'm going to be in quite a bit of trouble starting with the 2 estates in hand in a 19-card deck. Yeah, so the delayed quarry seems to have worked out fine. For them, they were able to get their deck under control a little bit faster. Some of that is just because I bottom decked my Storyteller that I bought. They did not bottom deck it. A little bit of that is first player, I think. They're not able to gain and play a quarry here, which is good. They're going to be able to buy a couple of good actions. I think I also need to look into getting another, like a ducat or something, for the plus buy. As once you get a second quarry in play, you know, all the 5-cost actions will cost 1, and so that plus buy will be really useful. Like training right now would do very little because you've got $8 and all the things you want to buy cost 3. You've got 2 buys, so you can only really spend $6. See if they get another quarry here. Okay, just 2 Artificers. Okay, well, I did find the Shepherd, so that was quite nice. Go ahead and draw here. Don't think I need to play the supplies yet. Okay. I want to be able to get a quarry into play. I'm going to end up triggering a bad shuffle here, I think. So I play Storyteller, quarry, and then that draws me 2, and then 1 supplies. Oh, that was, yeah, that draws me all but one card. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to discard 4 here to gain. I just want to discard 2 and gain a ducat. Feels a little bit lame, but I do like the plus buy. The second quarry is also amazing, obviously. So the plus buy, I think, and then what am I going to buy? I can't use the plus buy without the quarry is the problem. So I'll discard 4, gain a quarry, then discard 3, gain a storyteller, gain a quarry, and I'll discard 3. A little bit sad to discard the supplies, but that's how it goes. Okay, so now with the 2 quarries in play, I can get another artificer and another. I've got a storyteller on top, so I'm pretty comfortable about drawing now. This question is, do I want to actually get a ducat here, or just get like 2 artificers and try to draw back around to the quarries next turn, do the same thing again? I should be able to get ducats gain in play. And I start with a horse and a storyteller, so I feel pretty good about that. I don't know that I've ever really played a storyteller quarry game before. Certainly not with artificer. I mean, I guess those 3 cards together make it work. Black market quarry would also work, but the ability to play the quarry in the middle of the turn and then use artificer to gain actions for very cheap is quite powerful. I think it's important to have enough storytellers to do that, because you can play a quarry, then you can gain and play a quarry, then you can play a quarry and potentially use every artificer to gain another artificer, or once the artificers run the treasuries, as I mentioned, you do need to pick up like a ducat or something along the way, just to make sure you have enough buys to get 2 or 3 provinces in a turn, because the quarries don't help you buy provinces. I have 3 storytellers. They only have 1. So if they don't find a storyteller, that bodes well for my chances in this game, obviously. Certainly playing a shepherd and discarding 1 estate is sad. That's basically card neutral, although you're replacing 2 cards that don't buy you a lot with 2 cards that do. Okay, they did have a storyteller in hand. They were just waiting to play it until they'd gotten their quarry. Yeah, I can see some value here in getting the second shepherd. As I said, if you're drawing deck, the shepherd will draw 8. So if you discard, I'm not quite sure how you work it to discard 8 cards and then gain like a province and then draw 8 back by discarding 4 green cards. I'm not quite sure how you make that work. But maybe just situationally in the middle of the turn, it adds, this shepherd nets 1 card. The first shepherd netted 0 cards. So it didn't cost them anything other than that they had to buy that shepherd that turn. They did a good job here of not using much of their treasure to draw with storyteller, but they triggered a weird shuffle. I'm not quite sure what's in that shuffle. They were able to gain and play a storyteller, so they should be able to draw through it. Although that's more money potentially than they want to be spending. I'm not quite sure. they also did not get their second quarry into play. So they weren't able to gain things for 1, which is quite nice. They are going to win the Artificer split, it looks like 6-4. Okay. Well, I don't really want to play the Artificer at this point. Do I? What can I gain with the Artificer? I can gain a ducat, I can gain a supplies. I think I'm just going to play Storyteller and haul my coppers and draw that way. Did find the Shepherd, which is great. Okay, this is beautiful. So Storyteller, both quarries, I guess both supplies. Those will give me cards that I can discard. Okay. So stuff now costs 1 to gain. So I can go Artificer, Treasury, ad nauseum here if I want. And I think that's what I want to do. So my Artificer, discard a horse to gain a treasury. Let me play 1 more horse. So at the end of the day, I have a bunch of green cards in my discard pile that I trigger a bad shuffle with. So Artificer Treasuries on top. At the end of this, I have 4 treasuries on top of my deck, and I've discarded 4 cards. I can always top deck a Shepherd, though, at the end of the turn. So I try to trigger a bad shuffle with green cards, and then top deck a Shepherd. Oh, I have another Storyteller. Did not even account for that. Okay, well, so I do want to pick up 1 ducat here and potentially put training on something. Okay, we're going to discard Storyteller and supplies to gain a ducat. And then we're going to leave a Storyteller on top with a horse, with a supplies and a 1 green card, which is not the end of the world. Okay, so thinking about just getting Treasury, Shepherd, Province here. Basically run the same thing back next turn. I can also consider training here. I like having this second Shepherd. Training is only going to give me 3. Oh, but if I gain a bunch of more treasuries next turn, I can do that. So put like training on treasury and then buy a Shepherd and something else. Training on treasury is 6. And just buy 2 treasuries. Buy Treasury Shepherd. Maybe I don't need the Shepherd. Oh, with top decking the treasuries and the Storyteller on top, I'm going to be able to draw substantially. Because the treasury basically becomes +3 cards. I don't think I left a pile out here. I didn't consider it that closely, but I don't think I left one open. They've got 7 or 8 games. It seems tough for them to empty the supplies and the treasuries and buy a green card. If they did something like buy 8 estates, gain 8 estates somehow, although that's really tough with their deck consistency. I assume they gained a storyteller last turn. I think they gained and played one. Gain and played one. Where does the past tense suffix go? If gain and play is a single unit, then it's gain and played. But if it hasn't yet crystallized into the language, then it's gained and played. So perhaps we'll leave that discussion to the language channel. Okay, so they already got a quarry into play early, which is good, obviously. It means that the artificer tricks are a lot easier. The question is how long will it take them to get the second quarry into play, which is when the artificer tricks really pay off, as we saw last turn when I gained a whole bunch of stuff. And I even had to waste one of my artificers at the beginning of the turn to somewhere early in the turn to draw. Oh, I was able to use them all, actually, it looks like, to gain treasuries. Yeah. So they did not get a quarry into play yet. I assume they're going to get it into play here. Yeah. So they played one artificer just for draw. Okay, they gained a patrician. So they can empty the Emporium here without a ton of difficulty, which is quite nice. Gets them 10 VP. I assume that's what they're going to do. Yeah. That's quite nice. I wonder if I could have... I don't have as many artificers. It would have been a little more difficult, but obviously that's a nice pattern to gain the 10 VP there. We'll have to see if on my turn I can gain enough things to pile. Again, I didn't think they had enough gains to pile here. They're leaving the piles very low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's all their gains. They've got 2 buys. They can buy Emporium Province, I guess. They don't have enough for that. I feel like the door is open for me. I just have to play the turn out well. 16. Oh, they can buy Emporium Province because, obviously, because of quarries in play. Okay, so what do I need to do to win here? I need to score 3 provinces. That seems unrealistic. Three provinces and a whole bunch of other stuff? That seems quite difficult. We'll lead on some treasuries. Try to find a quarry. At least one to get started. Okay. I think the plan will be definitely to use Shepherd to draw 8 here when I can. So the plan is now to get Storyteller into play with the last quarry. Can I pile treasuries and then have enough money left to gain stuff? It doesn't seem possible, but we will see. Okay, so play that, play the quarry, play the ducat, leave the pasture for draw. Okay, I'm going to use this horse this turn, probably. I have another storyteller down there that I can do something with. So the question is, Artificer, discard a card to gain a treasury, do that 4 times. I still only have 3 buys at the end of the day. So I can discard 4 cards to gain 4 storytellers, but I just don't have enough money. I'm not seeing a pathway to victory here. So I can gain treasuries, I can gain 4 treasuries. Draw everything back up. That gets me a lot of money. Not really seeing any way for me to win this game now. They played it very well that last turn. I wonder if I needed to, instead of going for treasuries, go for the Emporium pile. I can believe that that's the case. Go ahead and play this horse just so I can see everything that I've got. I can counterfeit Ducat. That gives me another buy, right? I already played my Ducat. Oops. Oops, oops, oops. Okay, I can gain another Ducat, though. I can gain another Ducat. I can counterfeit it. That's a thing that I can do. That gets me plenty of buys. So I can magnify my buys there. The question is, how do I get to enough money to win? How many gains do I need? If I get 8 estates, for example, that's 16 VP, that's 22, that's a tie, and I am second player, so a tie is fine. So can I gain 8 estates? 16 money. So if I Artificer, gain a Ducat, that's 5 buys, and I've got, what, 4 money here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 with the Ducat. So I Artificer, gain an estate. Artificer, gain an estate. Play the treasury, draw a bunch of stuff. Artificer, gain. I'm gaining 3 estates and a Ducat. So I just need 10 money. That seems quite doable. So I just need to get to 10 money, and the Ducat gives me the buys. So the question is now, can I do better? Can I get to 8 estates in Duchy? That's quite a bit tougher. The problem is I don't have enough buys. I needed to counterfeit that first. Well, I needed to counterfeit a Ducat. That gets me to 5 buys. I don't see how I get past 5 buys because 8 games, I don't see it. So let me make sure I have the tie in hand. I think a tie wins me the match. So Artificer, discard 2 supplies for an estate. Artificer, discard copper, counterfeit for an estate. Treasury. I've got plenty of draw here. So I just don't discard green cards and I can draw it all back up again. I can even discard draw cards. Okay, so discard 2 cards for an estate. Artificer, discard 2 cards for an estate. Artificer, discard 2 cards for a Ducat. Draw. Artificer, discard 2 cards for an estate. Play the treasury. And actions, counterfeit Ducat, play all treasures. Buy 5 estates. Whew. That is a 10-turn tie on 3 pile. Wow, I did not think that would work. They played it right. I'm lucky, I think, to have spotted that. Otherwise, it was a very, very close game. I think we both played it pretty well. They had more artificers, and maybe they could have been a little bit more circumspect about the Emporia pile. I'm not sure. Look forward to anything in the comments about that game. Thanks for listening.